What up, peeps? Welcome to this quick training on what we call the imposter syndrome. And that's something that a lot of high-performing entrepreneurs, business owners really struggle with. You see, we'll feel successful on the outside, but on the inside, we feel like a bunch of fakes. We feel like a bunch of imposters. And if you feel that, you've got this training. And so I want to go over kind of a quick 3-step hack, if you will, to help you overcome this imposter syndrome, so that you can show up with all of you every day. When I first became CEO of my company, I really struggled with this. I would go to conferences, I would go to other networking events, I would meet other CEOs of companies, and I would say, I don't look like those guys. I don't act like them, I don't talk like them, I don't dress like them. In some cases, I'd even look at my facial hair or my haircut, and I would say, I just don't look like them. And it really dawned on me, it was like, why am I comparing myself to these CEOs? And it was because I was really struggling with this imposter syndrome, that people see sort of the outside of, well, you're put together and you're successful and your business is doing well and all these things. But on the inside, we feel like imposters. We feel like all this is just going to fall apart one day, or we're going to wake up and realize we were just lucky. And in reality, that's not the truth. And so I want to attack that with you and for you. And I want to help you sort of hack that in your mind so that you stop struggling with this. So there's 3 steps really that you have to take. Number 1 is you got to what I call reframe the fraud. And essentially what that means is you got to tell a different story about who you are. So in the case of being a CEO, I had this vision of myself as the CEO of an agency. And when I looked at all the other CEOs in the agency space, I said, I don't look like anything like those guys. So I had to reframe it and go, okay, but who am I really? I'm Mark Santiago. I'm really good at marketing. I'm really, a different kind of sort of agency guy. And so it's like, why not play up the creative side of me? Why not wear creative type shirts and wear Adidas sneakers or be who I am and reframe it so that I'm not necessarily the CEO. Maybe I'm the chief marketing officer, or maybe I'm really just the VP of fundraising or marketing or whatever. And think of it in a different way. The second step is to find supporting evidence to the contrary. If you look at yourself as the CEO of the company and you feel like you're this imposter, think back through what are the things that you've done to get you to this place. So you need supporting evidence. So let's say, for example, you managed X amount of client campaigns, or you did all of these things, or you hired these people, or you've done this, or in your career you've done all these things. List out those accomplishments. Take pictures of it, put it on pieces of paper, put it on a poster board, and put that right in front of you and say, who did that? Who did this? Who did that? You did. One of my favorite movies, James the Bulldog Braddock, is in character, is Russell Crowe, and his wife and him were talking about him going into this fight. And every time before a fight, they would ask him, hey, who knocked out this guy? He said, I did. Say, who knocked out that guy? I did. Who knocked out that guy? James the Bulldog Braddock, the Bulldog of Bergen. And they would start listing out his names. And he'd be like, and you could just see the fire and the intensity come to him, because he had to remember that as he went into that ring, it wasn't him that was going into the ring. It was all those successes. It was all those things that happened before up till now. And it's like, that's what you bring. So every day, what's happening is there's evidence that's supporting the contrary lie that you're believing in your head. You've got to go find that evidence. Who's the guy that created the campaign for millions of dollars? Who's the guy that did X? Or who's the woman who was able to slay those giants in that boardroom? It was you. It was you. Take that evidence and say, yeah, it was me. That's who did that. I did that because I'm a badass, right? We have to have that perspective. So step 3 is accept through action. In this case, what we want to do is take those wins and begin to detach ourselves literally from the outcome. So if I say every day, what I'm doing is I'm putting on a new habit. And maybe that habit is showing up to work at 6 a.m. and doing these 3 tasks every single day. By doing that, what I've done is I've detached myself from, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter if I'm the CEO of the company. What matters is, do I do the tasks? Do I do the habits that I'm supposed to do every day, and let the outcome decide itself? So if I think about it in the context of me as the CEO of the company, and I can be freaking out, oh my gosh, these other organizations, they're not going to want to hire us because they're going to look at me and go, you don't look like one of those agency CEOs, you don't wear the tie, you don't look like one of those guys. Doesn't matter, because what I can do is separate myself from the outcome and say, okay, what are the activities that I need to do today to look like, essentially, from an organizational perspective, the CEO. Maybe it means for me I have to change my clothes, but in my case, that wasn't the case. In my case, it was actually be more of me and be really good at the marketing side of things and be really focused on client fulfillment and be really good at we perform at a high level. So that when I'm talking to an organization that's used to talking to CEOs that look different from me, they're not focused on what I look like or how I act. What they're looking at is the results that we've done, the things that we're doing every single day to bring them into our world and to make their organization better. And that's how I attacked it. So it's those three things. It's reframe the fraud. Who are you really? Stop believing the lies of what everybody else is saying. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. Who are you really? The second step is find supporting evidence to the contrary. Look for those past wins, those things that you have actually done. Put them on display. Read them. Focus on them. Get fired up about them. And then step 3 is accept through action. And what I mean by that, again, is looking for what are the small habits, what are the things I can do today that say, yeah, I am the CEO of this company, and this is what a CEO does, and this is how he does it, and he does it well. So if you're struggling with any of this, and you've got imposter syndrome, or you just know you're not living at the level that you should be at, that you're not able to show up in your business, maybe you're stuck, maybe you're burned out, maybe you're feeling really frustrated about where your company is or where you are at, I want to challenge you to get on a call with me or somebody from my team. And I want to walk you through some of this process. I want to help you gain clarity, control, and help you get commissioned into becoming the CEO you were destined for. So if that's you, I want you to go ahead and go to my calendar. You should see a link below, or you can go to meetme.so/unleashedceo. meetme.so/unleashedceo. Go there, find a time, let's get on a call. It's not a sales call. We're literally going to walk you through some of these things to help you get some breakthrough in your own personal life or your own business life, maybe give you some ideas and some wisdom and some tips. But then from there, if you're a fit, I might ask you to join our program. If you're not a fit, I'll tell you where you can go and the things you should be working on in the meantime. All right, we'll talk to you soon.